What up, everybody? It's your boy Ryan Inspires, aka the little engineer that could. And make sure you hit that subscribe button and like and share this. The video you're about to get into is a video that I did interviewing Chantel Marie Fox, and we discuss dyslexia. I hope you enjoy it. Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Ryan Inspires, aka the little engineer that could. And it's been a while since I did a video like this, but we love the series that I have, Let's Ask an Expert. And today I have Chantel Marie Fox, and she is the owner of Eulexiology, and she's going to give us a little bit of details. Yes, we're going to ask an expert today about the details of dyslexia and get a little bit more information about what she does and how she contributes to this space. So let's put our hands together and welcome Chantel, everybody. Let's go. What's up, Chantel? How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you, Ryan? Thank you for
I
having me.
am doing well, and thank you for coming on. I love talking to people who are, passionate in the fields that they are in. And let me tell you how I met Chantel. So I went to this gathering at church, and Chantel was there, and she mentioned that she had a book. And my ears perk up when I hear people mention they have a book. So I went over and talked, and I could hear the passion in her voice as she spoke about what she does and how she contributes to the dyslexia space. So again, I just want to say thank you very much for being here.
Of course.
And yeah, let's get into it. So, Chantal, tell us a little bit about yourself before I jump into my questions.
Sure. I am Chantel Marie Fox. I am a wife, a mother of four and a half. I have one on the way.
Yay, girl.
I
Yay. Let's go.
coming in September. So we're excited. Our family's expanding. I'm an educator in Texas. I teach sixth grade English. I do all kind of things. I have wear many hats.
There you go.
But those are the one. Those being an educator will definitely highlight. Um, One of my background qualifications for Eulexiology, and I'm the owner and founder and creator of Eulexiology, and you're going to hear more about that in a little bit.
Yeah, that's it right there. So let's start off with the name because you say that name three times fast and you're probably gonna get tired tongue, right?
Oh
But tell me
yes.
how you came up with the name Ulexology.
Okay, so and it's a big name, and it
It is.
literally is. And I
I've been
should have
fighting
worn
it
my
all
shirt
day.
today. I usually wear my shirt, and it just says Eulexiology, and people are like, "How do you say that? What does
Right.
that mean?" And I love that because it's a conversation starter, and so it derives from dyslexia, and
Mm,
people that don't know what dyslexia means, it just means you're bad with reading or you're just not great at reading. And when you look at the origin of the word dyslexia,
mhm.
dys means bad in the language of Greek. And then the antonym of dys is EU. And words are so powerful. And so when you just
Ooh,
are
look at
telling
you
somebody
breaking
they're
it down.
bad, yes, I mean, I had to go look it up myself. And I feel like God gave it to me because I was just sitting in the shower thinking I was with a parent, and I'm just like, well, there's such a negative stigma,
Mhm.
and when you look up words, it makes sense. And
Yeah.
so, with the power of words, you're telling somebody they're bad at something, bad at reading. It just creates a negative stigma. So, putting EU in it is giving somebody the notion that there's something good about it. And
Nice.
then because it's a new concept that I came up with, ology,
Mhm.
you want to study it,
Yeah.
learn more about it. So I added the ology at the end. So eulexiology, definitely made up, not in the dictionary, and I do plan to make sure it's in the dictionary one day. It's just not a focus right now.
I love that. I know you're gonna do it too. Look, hey, I told you we're gonna ask an expert, all right? We're
Yeah.
coming up with our own words and put it in the dictionary. We're not playing. I
Listen.
love it. No, that's what's up. So I can clearly tell that you're passionate about dyslexia. You're a teacher, so you're passionate about educating, and you mentioned that you're a teacher as well. So where did that I guess your experience with dyslexia, where did that passion step into where you said, okay, I'm going to focus on dyslexia? Is it personal experience? Is it, I know you're a mom, you're
Yeah.
also a teacher. Where did that connection come in?
Well, it started with me.
Okay.
I am dyslexic, and 1 out of 5 of the population of the world is unidentified dyslexics. And
Okay.
so at one point in my
See, she
college,
has stats and stuff, yo. Stop playing. Let's go.
I was in high school and I was struggling. I mean, I struggled through school. I already knew that personally, but I
Mhm.
finessed my way through it. I got to know my teachers well, smiled in their faces. Can I use the bathroom, please? If I didn't want to read.
Right.
And then I would go visit the administrators and be gone for a few, for the whole class period. And it started to really have a negative effect on me 8th grade when they're like, you're not going to pass because you're
Yeah.
not passing your classes. You're never in class. And I don't know how you're never in class. And how did we get this far? Um, so I really had to try hard and I barely passed 8th grade. I went into
Hmm.
high school and I did not like school at all. I tried to do all of the activities that made me want to go to school. Like got into theater arts, things I was good at,
Right.
and that kind of kept me kind of just at school, but I still
Right.
like
Yeah.
school.
Yeah.
Well, come my senior year, and it's like, okay, I'm going to turn 18. I don't know what I'm going to do after this. Most people are going to college, and I'm not. I don't feel smart enough to do this. And so I asked my parents, I was like, can you please just see if, can you just get me tested? Maybe there's like an underlying learning thing and I didn't know this whole time, but I'm not going to school
Wow.
unless
You made that request.
I did. I
That's
asked
that's
my
that was
parents.
that's mature. That's dope.
I
A lot
was
of kids
scared.
won't do that.
I was like not passing high school either. And I'm like, this is senior year and I'm only class I was passing was choir and drama.
For
And
you to
these are
make that
not,
decision is big, though. But let me ask you this question real quick because I
yeah.
forgot to mention that you are Bohemian.
Yes, I'm a
Was
Bahamian.
yeah, there you go, Caribbean massive. Big up yourself.
Yes,
But
yes.
was the school that you're talking about, is that in America or was that in Bahamas?
So I grew up in Chicago. My
Okay,
father is Bahamian. He submerged us into the culture. We went to the
right,
Bahamas every summer, every
right.
Christmas. I know my cousins very well. I can turn my accent on if I want to, but
There you go. Let's
but
go. Stop
but
playing.
some people don't even understand. So
Yeah, yeah.
I keep it American.
We Caribbean people, we got a code switch. We got three
Yes,
switches that
you
we
have
gotta
to
hit. We
you
gotta
have to
hit
know
the
your audience.
American, we gotta hit the Caribbean, and we gotta hit, corporate America switch. Come on.
Yes, sir. So, um, however, the school I'm talking about was in the Illinois schools,
Okay.
north of Chicago, and I'm the youngest of three at that time. So I was the baby. My brothers had already been through school,
Mm,
and or I was my senior year. Yeah, they both graduated. So my parents didn't really think I was like just
yeah.
stop playing around
Yeah.
and do
Yeah.
what,
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
so
Yeah.
they tested me, come to find out I'm dyslexic. And I got a lot of accommodations the last semester of high school, and
Hmm.
it just changed. Like it was like light bulbs came on. Like I just needed
Wow.
extra time. I could read. I just read slow and didn't really didn't understand what I read, so I have to go back and reread it. And then they're moving on, and I'm like, I'm not
Oh yeah. Yeah.
ready to move on. And I really, really, really tried hard. I'm like, I really don't want to be, the one who's not informed. I know I'm intelligent. I could
Yeah.
hold a conversation. I could tell you about anything. But so that's where it started for me. I struggled, and when me and my mom learned, my dad um didn't do the research as much. He just was like, "Oh, okay. I mean, what is that?"
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not
It's
a
like
big
okay.
common thing that people talk about, especially in the 90s and early 2000s. So, um, we researched it and come to find out that it is a hereditary thing. If your parent
Wow.
had dyslexia or a grandparent had dyslexia, it is most common that the descendant will have it. So my mom was like, reading all of this information is like I'm reading about myself.
And you're like, hey, who in the family passed this one down? Like, hey,
Okay.
which one which one of y'all up there
You
passed
know,
this
and
one
it's like
down?
such a struggle, right? So that's
Mm-hmm.
the other the other natural stigma that comes with the negative connotation of dyslexia. It's just
Right.
the natural struggle of reading. And
Right.
so when people have that struggle, it's like discouraging and you don't want to move forward. But when you learn about your natural talents and your what you're really good at and
Right.
how you are a creative thinker, it just definitely changes your perspective of being dyslexic.
That's big. And again, you made a decision, which was again commendable. But when you found out that okay, you were dyslexic, and as you said, you mentioned there's a negative stigma that is attached to being dyslexic,
Hmm.
and you also went back to the Caribbean during your summers around very mean Caribbean kids. Like if you think the kids in
Oh
America mean,
Lord,
back in the day, the Caribbean kids
yes,
were 10 times worse.
yes, they are.
How how did you deal with that negative stigma? First, begin, let's ask why do you think there's that negative stigma, and then how did you deal with it, especially at that age?
Well, because I found out later in my teenage years,
Hmm.
I I was still within the general population, if that makes sense. And so it wasn't very obvious that I was struggling to the
Okay,
students. I
okay.
was popular,
That's what I'm saying.
people
And you could probably throw hands too, so
they just love me to
just in
be
case.
around. I can talk to anybody. I can
Okay,
join any conversation. So it wasn't an obvious thing to the outsider or a peer. It
makes
was
sense.
just academically, you could see that I struggled. Or one of the things I did to kind of compensate, I guess you can say, is if I knew we were reading and I couldn't get out of this situation, I would request a paragraph that I had basically reread
Oh wow.
so I
Okay.
wouldn't struggle so hard. And if I get stuck
Hmm.
at a word, I just kind of laugh it off, like I don't know this word, you.
Yeah,
And they'll tell me, and then I'll move on. But I would have so much anxiety
I
inside, like, oh my
bet.
gosh, I'm so glad that's over with, and now they could leave me alone. And then I wouldn't even really know what else they were talking about after I read my paragraph because I was dealing with recovering from reading the paragraph.
Yeah.
And so
Jeez.
I didn't have to deal with so much of the bullying aspect because I didn't showcase it um, publicly.
Right.
Um, but it became as an adult or a young adult realizing this was my issue, I stood up for myself. I was like, I need a comment. I get extra time. How do I get it? I just go straight
Yeah.
to my
Yeah. I know
even
my
now as an
rights.
educator, it is still a struggle for me. And I am at a position where I've been in the education field for over 12 years. And so now I'm in
Clap it up
positions
for
where
that.
I can be in the leadership. Yes, I can be in leadership positions. And they're like, our leadership group is reading this book. You need to have it read by this certain time. And I'm like, is it an audible
Yeah.
version of it? It's not that I can't read. It's just I will understand it and internalize
Right.
it better if I can hear it and maybe sometimes hearing it and reading it when I have time to study. And they
That's
laughed at me, and
dope.
I'm just like, I'm so serious. And so I just stand up for myself and try to. And so they did find an Audible for me, and it's on Spotify. And I'm like,
Nice.
thanks. That's all I'm asking because I still need accommodations as an adult.
So okay, so good. That's a that helps me with my next question, right?
Hmm.
What are some of the misconceptions that you've heard people have about dyslexia? And the reason why I ask this is because that's one of the things I wondered. Does it go away? Do you just get better at reading to the point where you kind of like phase out of being dyslexic? But again, that's probably a misconception on my part. What are some of the misconceptions you know that people have of people with dyslexia?
Okay, so basic things. People say, "Oh, so you mix up words. The letters
Mm-hmm.
turn around. You read backwards. You read
Yeah.
upside down.
Yeah, that's one of the things.
It's
Like the words.
reversals.
Yeah, we think that they seeing the words kind of like doing
Yes.
this. I
So
don't
that
know.
is a misconception. That is
Okay,
a
there you go.
misconception.
Boom,
The
misconception. Let's
process
go.
of dyslexia is originated from how the information is going through your brain.
Right.
A person without dyslexia goes from whether you're seeing it, hearing it, reading it, whatever, from one place to the other, and bam, it's there.
Mm,
It just goes through a different journey
gotcha.
in your
Gotcha.
brain when you have dyslexia. And so sometimes, even now when I'm writing, because there's different forms as well. Like dyslexia is like the reading part of it. You can
Mm-hmm.
have dysgraphia where you write terribly, write your P's and Q's backwards and upside down.
Mm,
It happens, but we don't
yeah.
see it. We don't
Yeah.
see it upside down or backwards. It just
Right.
mm, when you go fast, that's the way it comes out. That's the way
Right.
it's processed. And so if you're not pausing and if you haven't seen the correct way how to do it multiple times, you won't catch the error.
Right.
And so
Right.
what happens is reversals, right? I flip my P's and my Q's around and my, whatever it is, my B's and D's. And I do it too when I write, and
Right.
mostly when I write,
Even to this day.
even till this day, mostly when
Okay.
I write. But when I'm reading, and I get stuck on a real simple word,
Yeah.
um, I have to go back to what I've been taught. Now, it's kind of like you have to practice, just like you riding a bike. It's like once you get back on it, it's like, oh
Mm-hmm.
yeah, oh
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So that's
Okay.
why intervention is very important. And so when people don't get the interventions that they need to learn how to stop and pause and correct the problem,
Right.
it can be a continuous error that you
Right.
always make.
So then you'll constantly be putting your P's backwards and your
Yes,
Q's
yes.
backwards because nobody
It
intervened.
it will still happen, but you
Mm-hmm.
can now go back and correct it.
Right. You can
That's
look
what's
at it and realize, oh,
yeah,
that's supposed to be a P.
that's
It's supposed to
wrong.
be the other way. Okay.
But it
Okay.
doesn't go away. No, dyslexia is in you. It is you. It is going to be you. And so it is best to learn the most you can about it and find out what your struggle is, and
Mm-hmm.
then practice it.
Right.
And so that's pretty much about the misconceptions. It could be many more things. People have myths and facts that I usually share at a walkathon that I do annually. I may not do it this year because I'm having a baby, because it's usually
Whoa.
October. um, but
That's we can excuse you for this one. It's
yeah,
fine.
I'm trying to find a way to still do it, because it's the point of it is to educate the community, and I already have all of the materials to get the
Right.
activity, the
Right.
event
Yeah.
done.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's one of the main things. People don't know that it's hereditary. People think that we
Actually,
read
don't know that.
reverse, and it's just not true. It's just the way it's processed in our brain, and that people need to be have intervention and practice and understand where their struggle is so they can just make it better.
Yeah.
Anything in the world that you do that you're not good at, if you practice it, you'll get better.
Get better. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense. That's actually very logical.
Hmm.
Very logical. So, as we talked about the misconceptions, and you alluded to it a little bit, what are some of the things that you tell parents or parents with kids who may have dyslexia? What are some of the things or pointers that you're giving them to help them, you know, I guess promoting learning in a different way, learning the with the dyslexia?
Okay. Well, first is mindset. And I
Hmm.
think that learning myself, I had to really get my mind right, where I understand my challenges and my
Hmm.
strengths and weaknesses, and then understanding that that's every single person in the world has their weaknesses and their
Yeah.
challenges and their
Yeah.
strengths.
Yeah.
So first understanding that, and then what are your using your strengths, what are you capable of, and telling yourself that you are going to read, you are going to understand. It's like
Mm.
affirmations almost. So I start with just
Nice. There you
mindset.
go. Let's
Yeah,
go. Hey yo.
we want to put our mind in the right position of positivity because that's what Eulexiology is all about. The
Right.
EU is good. And
Yeah.
so we want to start with that, having a good positive mindset, because if you have such a discouraged, like I have to build some children and parents up. One
Hmm.
parent, I had a um they went through the whole process of getting their child tested and come to find out their child dyslexic,
Yeah.
and because of their uneducated views, they're like, are they retarded? And I'm like, oh
Yeah.
my gosh, no.
Yeah. Like yo.
So it's
Yeah.
like I had to move her from there to I'm dyslexic, ma'am, and
Yeah.
that it's
Exactly.
very possible that he could be successful.
Oh.
And so it just kind of had to break those barriers and get them past it. So that's like number one. And then advocating for their child and showing their child how to advocate for themselves. And so there's accommodations that come with somebody, especially a student, a
Right.
child in school that is identified with dyslexia, and there are accommodations that are required for them to have
Hmm.
under the special education laws. And
Right.
so once you know and understand how to use your accommodations, then nobody can tell you you can't use them.
Right.
So people get extra time. People have text to speech where something's read to them. People have time where they can take a break because it's just overstimulating. There's other things like ADHD that are like cousins to dyslexia. So if you
Mm.
have like multiple uh, struggles or challenges, then you need to learn your accommodations and advocate for yourself. And I'm not going to be there for my child. Like my daughter has also been diagnosed with dyslexia. As a
Mhm.
parent, I'm teaching her how to advocate for herself as though
Right.
I did
Right.
for myself.
Right.
And so when you're not getting the text to speech or your small group guided testing done,
Hmm.
you have to get to go, you have to take tests, and if they're not putting you from the general population into a smaller setting so you can focus,
Yeah.
or they're not giving you your extra time, excuse me, hello, I know that these are my accommodations, and I don't, am I, where am I, what
Yeah.
am
Yeah.
I getting the accommodations that I need?
Yeah.
So teaching, and then the parents giving them some tools to use at home, even in the car, playing games like, if they're younger and they are learning letters and sounds, phonics, and in the very basics of literacy starts with sound and language and
Right.
communication, and then phonics incorporating the letters and sounds, and find, let's play. If you see, you will start with the beginning of the alphabet, you see a word that starts with A, let me know, and then
Yeah.
I'll do B, and then just those
I
types
see
of
what you're
things to
saying.
do at home to
That's
kind of enhance the literacy learning.
that's
Um,
so practical. I love that.
yes, yes. So those are a few things that I do that I tell parents, and then I use Eulexiology as an ongoing resource. If you have questions, parents can have a consultation with me, or they can have, it's, I wouldn't call it a training, but just a session to talk to me about their child and how they
Yeah. Talk
can
more
use.
about that. Talk more about that. I wanted to get into that because that's your brand, that's your business, but that's also your passion, right?
Yes.
And so talk to me about Ulexology and what you and the people at your company do to help people with dyslexia, not just the people that are being directly impacted, but like the parents who may be indirectly impacted by,
Yes,
yeah.
yes. So originally my goal was just to educate the community.
Okay.
And so I do a few things with that aspect, or that umbrella, I guess you
Hmm.
can say. Um,
Definitely an umbrella.
yes, because
Yeah.
I have tutored students. I
Uh-huh.
have had consultations with parents to kind of give them some tools.
Right.
I've done it with teachers where teachers are like, okay, I have dyslexic students in my classroom. What do I do? How do I help them?
That
And
makes
so
sense.
I
Okay. So
find,
it's not just parents. Okay, that would
no,
make sense.
it's
The teachers
educators
also,
as
yeah,
well,
okay. That
because
makes
they're
sense.
if you've been diagnosed with dyslexia, you can go and have a specific uh, systematic classroom that you're going to learn some strategies, but you
Right.
still are in the general population.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so then all of your schoolwork is still expected to be at the level that you're
Yeah.
in, what grade level you're
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
You just get to have those extra accommodations to meet the expectations, but you still have to meet the expectations. So I give small group information to teachers so that when they pull students, they know how to really address the student that has dyslexia.
Right.
There's many things that I do that I haven't gotten to do all of it yet, but there's things in place. Like I am ready to go into daycare centers to do early literature classes with 4 year
Yes. Yes.
just to just expose them, whether they're dyslexic or not, just the exposure and the multisensory approach to it. I am equipped to talk to corporations. I know my mom is an auditor in the corporate world, in the
Mm-hmm.
pharmaceutical world.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing that businesses do is that they have to have training for their employees. And dyslexia was one of the trainings she had to have. She said, this lady came on and talked about everything you do. I'm like, so, and I said, okay, I'm gonna make that a service.
There you go.
And
I
people
just
get paid thousands of
I
dollars to do
of
that.
course. I was thinking about it when you were talking about schools and stuff. I was like, I wonder what does this look like? And because you were saying, for tests you get extra time, I was wondering what does this look like in corporate America?
Yes, I
What does
can come
this look
in.
like in the big corporations that we see? I'm pretty sure, and I don't know, maybe dyslexia is a spectrum. You can tell me more about it, but I'm pretty sure they're very functioning high performers who may have dyslexia, and I don't know
They
what
will.
they're
They do.
doing,
They do. It's one
right?
to five, Ryan. I told
Yeah.
you it's 1 to 5 in the population. It's not just children. It
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah,
just
yeah.
affect
And
children.
it don't go away. Like
It's
you turn 18
it's
and you just don't have dyslexia
adults
anymore. Yeah.
in every field,
Gotcha.
So
Yeah.
just jumping, I mean, having the opportunity to, which that is like my future, like how am I going to find these contracts is like my dilemma right now. But I am going to be teaching corporations about how in the work field, what does it look like, how can
Mm,
you change your environment to accommodate those, and be,
yeah.
you have to give them accommodations. You cannot just be this, like, close it out, like, oh, okay, a
Yeah.
little more understanding. And then another thing that I do are workshops. I will come in and
Nice.
do a syllabication workshop where I'm teaching them all the syllables, 6 syllables. And this is kind of like when I get stuck reading, and if I
Uh-huh.
go back to my foundations of learning all of the syllables, then I know which vowel sound is supposed to be said in this word. And then it's like you just kind of go back and decode, and it may take you a little longer, which gives you that accommodation of extra
Right. That
time.
little time. Yeah.
Yes. And then I have an ebook that I put out, the book that you
Yeah,
mentioned
let's talk
here.
about the book too. Could get
Um,
into that a little bit. Come on.
that ebook, it just was a guide for parents to use if they're unsure how to get their child tested.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's a service that I use as well. And I plan to even make that a kind of a webinar, because you have the book, but then you read it, it's like,
Good idea.
so, ooh, can you just
Good
kind of really
idea.
talk me through it?
Good
Or,
idea. I like that.
so those are the things and services I have. Oh, and my walkathons. So that is like my
Yeah, we
big
can't forget the walkathon.
annual
You just
thing.
mentioned it. Yeah. Come on.
And so I've done it for 5 years. I started in 2020, and October is Dyslexia Awareness Month, and so I
Okay.
always, I mean, and I live in Texas, so the weather is pretty decent, and maybe a rainy season in October, and I have
We still get really good weather in October.
yeah, so October is a good time because I've done it where kids can come and dress up in costumes.
Mm.
But I would choose a park that has a path, and on the path, I put up signs that are myth and facts about dyslexia.
Oh,
And so, whether people come or not, their community is out walking.
yeah.
People are
They
out
don't see
walking,
it.
and
Yeah.
they come and they ask me questions, and I put out a bounce house. I have popcorn and hot dogs sometimes. It just depends on how big the turnout is going to be,
Right.
and more people come every year. So it's something I want to continue. I was thinking of switching it up this year. So it won't be outdoors. It might more so be like a exposition exhibit,
Yeah.
uh,
Okay.
and have just this a stand that talks about the facts and myths, the famous people that have dyslexia and how
That's yeah.
successful they are, and do a actual Q&A question talk panel type of thing. I have friends
I
that are
like that.
authors. I have artists that are dyslexic. I was just thinking of a different way to still educate the community, and but do it in a different way since I'm gonna have a newborn.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, that's, I mean, look, I think that's a fantastic event already with you just talking it out.
Yeah.
I even like
Thank
the
you.
walkathon part of it because you're right.
I
People are
love-
still walking and they're seeing,
Yes.
and this is something that I believe everyone could benefit from, even if you don't. You may not have dyslexia, or you may not know anybody with dyslexia or diagnosed with that dyslexia. It's something that can help you because you're interacting with people in the world, in corporate
Yes.
America,
Yep.
at schools, and you may be able to, at least because you know the myth, sorry, and the facts, you will be able to identify it and maybe able to help somebody with that early intervention if you might see them
Yes.
one of their kids or something. You know
Yes.
what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's a
Definitely.
fantastic idea. And look, sign me up. I'm gonna be there. You'll hear it first.
Yay!
Brand Inspired is gonna
Yay!
be there.
Bring the whole family and
Of
all your
course,
friends.
of course. So, transparent moment. Ramea, actually, my son, came home with a letter that said that he may have a form of dyslexia. And we got that letter the last week in school, I believe. I'm not sure if that's how they do it or whatever, but we have it. And I know we've spoken a little bit about it, and we're
Mm-hmm.
probably going to talk more about it after this interview.
Definitely. Mm-hmm.
But at first, you're right. We thought to ourselves, no way. Like, we know this kid. He's always yapping his mouth. He's sharp. But the with when we started working with him, because the school was done, now we're the ones working with him at home.
Mm-hmm.
We started to see little things, and we were, in our minds, we're thinking, okay. Then obviously I met you, and we talked a little bit about it. And I said, I think we haven't tested him, but I think, yeah, there may be something to this. And instead of me getting frustrated when I was doing work with him,
Mm-hmm.
and why are you not getting this, or why are you not understanding this is how this vowel sounds, or now I'm able to take a step back, and I'm pretty sure that you will teach me all these different
Yes.
things about it,
Yes. I'm here to help.
but work with him and be able to get him to understand that, hey, you have rights as somebody who have dyslexia, and if you need more time, then you're going to get more time. But I definitely, I'm happy that we met, and
Yeah.
it it just happened. We
Yeah.
If I did not meet you, I wouldn't have known what to do. I'd just been probably the Caribbean dad. I'd been like, he's fine.
He's fine. Yeah. It's like, what is that?
Yeah, what is that? It's probably another American
Just
thing,
read
right?
longer.
Right.
I'm spent-
So, are you trying to get money from me? Is that what this is? You're trying to tell me he
yes.
has to go and
No, it
no.
is a real struggle. It is
So
a real
now,
struggle.
and even the stigmas behind it, right? As a parent, you probably I got a little bit afraid because, like, okay, is he going to be able to stay in the regular classes? Does this mean college dreams are dead? What does this mean? But
Yeah.
we know our son. We know he's sharp. We know he can hold a conversation. Like you said, he can hold a conversation. He's funny. He can do all these
He
things.
has very he's very what's the word? Has
Charismatic, right?
charisma.
Yeah,
Yes,
he
like
has
when
that
I met him, he was like
bravado. Yeah,
very hello.
yeah, yeah. So I'm
I
like,
love it.
okay, but
No, the book is where it starts in
right,
this journey.
right,
And even it's good that they reached out because some people just let students fall through the cracks. Some teachers just like I don't
yeah,
want to deal with it. It's too much,
yeah,
paperwork. But
yeah.
the fact that they said something
Yeah.
is a great indicator
Well, we'll
to
clap it up for that school
yeah,
then, because I,
for you the parent to not be like, mm-mm,
yeah,
this is a good time for you to get him what he needs to be successful. Because one of the things, even with my daughter, like, so now that we know,
hmm,
great, but try to push yourself, challenge yourself. Like my daughter loves to flip around, and she's like, "I'm gonna learn how to handstand. I'm gonna
yeah,
learn how to do a backflip." And she practices and practices and pushes herself until she does it. I
right,
use those same scenarios that show mm, the work you put in,
yeah,
you get a result. It's the same
yeah, yeah,
dyslexia. And so you don't have to be you can test out of these classes that they put you in to learn syllabication just so you could be a successful reader.
right,
Once you've you've learned it, practice it. I mean, they put it in a song, like multi-sensory. They when they find the way that they learn best
Yeah.
this information, and then it's like locked in. It doesn't. It's not going to just go away because you don't. You know, it's just you'll use
Yeah.
it as you read it. It will become second nature as you read. So I think that you starting with the book to make sure you get the process started to get your child tested, and then I give a lot of information of how you play a role in the process. Like, don't let them like be slack, basically
Right.
with it. You're following up. You know, in the book, I'll tell you who to communicate with and how to communicate with the people.
Okay,
You
let's
want to
let's
keep a
go.
paper trail. It's very important that when a parent requests testing, it is like they have a short time to get the process started
Mm,
by law. And so they want to stay in compliance wherever school they
I
are, if
see what
it's a
you're
private
saying.
school or a public school. Now, it's different when people are homeschooling. You have to do a lot of things outside, find a specialist. Now,
It's
I'm
like
not,
like third party kind of stuff. You
yes, and
gotta
I'm not,
go get it yourself.
yeah, I can identify somebody, but I'm not, I don't have the credentials to do that. And
Gotcha.
so, and I'm not planning to do that. I can just refer them to someone.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I have the passion to talk about
Collaboration.
it. Even
Yeah.
though I'm still like not about school like that.
Me either. Yo.
School is a lot.
When you were
So
talking earlier, you said you didn't like school. I was like, man, she so like me.
I don't like school, buddy. No, sir.
I was the
So
one. As soon as I put my hand up, my friends just went, oh, because I
uh,
was about to ask about something that the teacher already talked about. They're like, oh, you don't get it.
no, I had no ask questions. Even if
Yeah.
somebody just said it, just for clarification. I always say that to
That's
kind of save my butt.
it.
Just for clarification, I just want to make sure I understand.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
You
like
gotta learn all these little tricks and tacks to just get you what you need. Get you what you need.
I love it.
Yes.
I love it.
So that's what I recommend with Ramir. Like I think that you should take the time to. It's very short. It's like 22
Hmm.
pages,
No,
and
no,
not,
no.
just read through it and just to get the idea of the process. And then once you get the process done, they may or may come back with saying he is or he isn't,
Hmm.
or what it is that is the problem.
Right.
And so then you can use that data to kind of move forward, and I can help you with that as well, even if, because the one thing about Eulexiology, yes, it's focused is dyslexia.
Hmm.
I will help where I have the expertise in, and
Yeah,
I'm
because
a leader.
you are an educator,
Right.
so yeah.
I mean, I've
Let's
taught
not
all the
forget that, y'all. Let's
subjects.
not forget that. All right.
and just because of the age that Ramirez is perfect, it's perfect
Yeah.
timing, because if he gets these things under his belt, he won't be struggling as a
Right.
so much as an adult if this is the case.
Right. I
So
love it.
yes.
I had a quick question about so the book. Let's. I wanted to ask this question. Where can people find the book?
So the only place you can buy it is on eulexiology.com.
You'll hear
And
that.
oh Lord,
I'll put a little link there underneath. Yeah.
Eulexiology.
There
Whew,
you go.
that was hard. .com.
There you go.
If you go to my website, you will be able to go to, I think it's a shop button, and it's an ebook right now.
Hmm.
So you just go and purchase it. It is $16 right now, and it's a powerful little book. I know
There
it's
you
22
go.
pages, but it has a lot of great information. People will pay so much more for knowing the steps.
Yeah.
And even with like Chat GPT being here today, like I am so upset with Chat GPT because they can't get dates correct. It's like
They just messing it up, huh?
I'm like, me and my husband, we refer to Chat GPT, and I'm like, but I go and find out like real like on the actual website information for something, and I'm
Yeah.
like, Chat, you told me the wrong information. Oh yeah, my bad. You're correct. I was incorrect. Like,
Oh my goodness.
so you cannot
No.
depend on Chat
Yeah.
GPT.
It's
ChatGPT
not
doesn't
as
have experience like me,
yeah, yeah,
and so
yeah.
that's why this book has so much more passion and powerful
Clap that up.
impact.
Let's
So
go. Let's go. I love that.
you can look up the information and learn the process.
But
But
having
you,
somebody to walk with you, I think that's where
yes,
you're different, right? Like a chat GPT is cool. It's kind of like having you go and you say, "Hey, my head hurts on what is it, WebMD before. My head hurts and my arm hurts," and it might spit out a bunch of stuff. But you still gonna go to a doctor
yes,
and get
it's
their
yes,
point of view before you
yes,
just say, "All right, WebMD said to put ice on it and take 17 Tylenol, so that's what I'm gonna do." You know what I mean?
yeah, I do like that. That just makes it even more valid that you need
Yeah,
people.
yeah, for
You
sure,
need
for sure, for
people.
sure. I'm not about
So
to put my kids' future in the hands of ChatGPT. I'll tell you
thank you. I
that.
appreciate that. So yes, you could go to my website to get the book.
And I'll put a link down below for anybody who's looking for that. But
Yes, the name
before
of the
we
book is
go ahead,
The Road to Advocacy for Dyslexia.
there you go. The Road to Advocacy for Dyslexia by Chantel Marie Fox.
Yes,
Let's
sir.
go get that, y'all, and get it for somebody too who might be dealing with dyslexia or have kids who have dyslexia or who want to know more about it. I think it's a topic that anyone can learn about because I said you can then be able to help somebody else who may be going through it as well or understand somebody else's point of view. For instance, you have a coworker who may be dyslexic. You read this book, you understand what they're going through, right?
Yes.
So let's get into this part right here.
Okay.
Eulexiology right now.
Okay.
So do you have a success story that you're really proud of? I know you kind of gave us a story just now, but is there like one story that stands out that just really you're proud of? Your Eulexiology was able to help somebody go from a 1 to a 10. What does that story
I
sound like?
do. Working with me in Eulexiology personally, people have said multiple times how the relatability, like you
Hmm.
relate to me and my child and their struggles. They love that part. I'm very flexible, like you just communicate with me. If
Hmm.
this doesn't work out, those are great things. But yes, I have this one particular student, basketball player, same age as my daughter. The parents have not been, they don't even know if he's dyslexic officially.
Hmm.
However, they've just noticed that he struggles in some areas and that
Right.
they want to get him tested, and but they wanted to just go ahead and jump on the tutoring side of things.
Right.
And talking with them and going over some syllables and how to write an essay, that was another thing that I've incorporated. Like I've created a whole system on how to write a
Let's
quick essay,
go. Let's
because
go. Essay.
I have to
Those
teach
are
it.
good. I love it. Let's go.
And I
That's
was
what's
like,
up.
nobody really broke this down for me. And if they did, it went over my head. So now that I'm in a position where I have to teach it,
Yeah.
it's like I break it down to the very simple steps that is very doable and not overwhelming. So after I've done those things, the parent will came back to tell me, "Thank you so much. My child is raising their hand and advocating for themselves.
That's what's up. Let's go.
My child wrote a whole story about rocks because that's his interest, and I focus
Nice.
on interest. That is the other thing I forgot to tell you, Ryan. When I work with a child individually, I learn so much about them just in conversation before we even start, because I think building relationships are important, but also knowing what somebody's interest is,
Hmm.
that's where you want to get them,
Yeah, yeah,
so
yeah.
when we find books that they want to read, if there's something that they're interested in, then it's just a free, it's like, okay, I'll read
Yeah.
that,
Yeah, it's
so
a cheat like a little cheat code right there because they're
yes.
actually interested in it.
So that's my one particular one that stands out to me, and they have been excelling. I don't even know if the parents went and actually got him tested. They just were very
They're like, yo,
pleased with the
we already solved
information.
this. We already solved the issue right
Yeah,
now.
they were
We
in a private school, so it wasn't as a simple process as it is in a public school.
mm,
However, he does have tools in his toolbox.
there you
So
go.
the only thing that I would recommend them is to still get him tested. So if he needs the extra time, they give it to him.
Gotcha, because that makes it official.
Yeah. Because
Gotcha.
he will, if he has to use the tools, he's going to take a little more time to
Gotcha.
decode words. Yep.
That's really solid advice right there. Because some people will be like, "Oh no, just take my course and that's it." No, you
Yeah,
still say
no.
no, get them tested. make it official so that you can go ahead and get the accommodations that you need. So,
Yes. Yes, for sure.
okay, so we'll wrap up with these last two questions right here, or last
Okay.
question, I would say. So, how can parents, schools, and communities better support those with dyslexia? I know one thing for sure, we're going to pull up to that Walkathon Expo, whatever you want to
Yes.
call it. But besides that,
Yes.
what do you think we should be doing as a community, as schools, as parents to really support uh, those with dyslexia?
Well, this interview will be shared with
Yeah, yeah,
all
we're
of your
gonna go
people.
YouTube. Yeah,
And so, if anybody hears this interview, support Eulexiology.
there you go.
And on my website, I have free resources. There are so many online resources that I've provided for people to educate themselves, whether I'm telling them or they can read about it themselves.
Hmm.
And so, just educating yourself about it, learn more about it, get more comfortable, make it common. It's common, it's super
Yeah,
common, and people make it look like it's just like,
yeah,
you special ed, or
yeah, yeah,
and it's kind
yeah,
of like, yeah, I am, uh but it doesn't make me less of a person.
yeah,
I just want people to know that intelligence has nothing to do with dyslexia. Talent has nothing to do with dyslexia. There's so many people out there that are very successful. There's Whoopi Goldberg. There's
I didn't know
Gary
that.
Payton Jr., basketball player.
Wow.
There's so many people, right, that use what they have and make their lives successful.
Right.
So, and the thing, when you think about like even actors that have to read scripts, think about them. They
Jeez.
don't really
Thank
read
you.
word for word. They have to improv a lot.
Yeah.
They put a lot of their characters, like they internalize the character and become the character.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
so they know they've read the gist of the script, but they're not reading word for word. I'm gonna tell
Yeah.
you that now, right?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
maybe you have that particular one who's working extra hard to understand all the words. So I just want it's just educate yourself.
Boom.
It's get yourself involved in the schools, in the community, join things like my walkathon, or share the information with others. If you recognize somebody that uh, might benefit from learning more about dyslexia, eulexiology is the way to point them in a good direction.
You all hear that, right? Eulexiology.com.
Okay.
100% agree with that.
Yes.
I uh I definitely think that this conversation is one of the dopest conversations I've had. And I'm
Yay.
not just saying that. I really feel like it's a topic that needs to be discussed, and I haven't seen much content on it. And again, it's because I probably haven't gone looking for it.
Right.
But I feel honored to have you on here, because if somebody does see this and they're wondering, okay, what do I do? It's not just, hey, we talked about something. No, we have someone you can go to who can actually help you
With the
with this.
details.
And
Yes.
that makes me feel really good. If we help one person, I felt like I did my job. So
That's how I feel too. One person, like
yeah.
if one person came to my walkathon, I felt like I did
Yeah.
my job.
That's it. That's it. That's
So,
it. That's it. I love that.
yes.
So before we go, tell people where they could find you, your socials, the socials for your business. Well, you already told us the website, but hit us it again.
Yes. So
Anything like that?
definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely my website at eulexiology.com. Same word. Oh, I gotta spell it again. I have to.
There you go.
eulexiology.com. It is also the same word in Instagram. So if
Hmm.
you do at Eulexiology, you'll find me on Facebook. I'm Eulexiology on X, formerly known as Twitter. I'm on
Twitter, yeah.
there. I'm on LinkedIn as well. I am on Lemonade.
Mm.
I am on Pinterest. There's not much content there,
Yeah.
but
It's like
uh, but
you
you'll
covered
find
all
me in these
bases.
places. If you utilize any of those platforms and send me a message, I will get it. I also have communication on my website.
Okay.
So when I get a message that somebody has subscribed to my website, I prefer you to subscribe so I can update anybody with any information I have coming, excuse me, coming out.
Right.
So that's where you can find me, all online. And
There you
so,
go. I love it.
yes,
No, that's perfect. And I do want to again say thank you very much
thank
for
you for
giving me some
having
of
me
your
on.
time.
Yes.
And I know you're a mom, you're expecting another baby. So I know time is not something you just have to give out. So I
No,
appreciate
it's
it.
a pleasure. I really appreciate you inviting me on your show. It is an honor to be here and to talk about what I'm passionate about and to keep it alive,
Yeah.
because it's a very important topic, and I love that I can communicate this through your platform. So thank you.
No, for sure. Hey, that's it right there. Let's ask an expert. We definitely ask an expert today. So, look, I just want to say thank you very much, Chantel. And to everyone out there, it's your boy, Ryan Inspires, aka the little engineer that could. And I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.